Welcome to the SportsBros podcast with your host, the head of creative, Eddy Kool. Also, the almighty B-Live and the money man, Scotty D. And now, without any further ado, here they are, the SportsBros.
What's going on, world? This be your boy, the head of creative, Eddy Kool, and welcome to another action-packed edition of the Sports Bros podcast. Hey, guess what, guys? We are in the month of April, and you know what that means, don't you? March Madness and more sports. But before we take a deep dive into what is the Sports Bros podcast and our topics that you know and love so much, let me introduce my other two sports bros. First off, I'll be introducing the almighty B-Live.
What's going on, sports world? This be your boy, the almighty B-Live, coming from you from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Man, oh man, I am on the edge of my seat right now. There's so much to talk about. Man, stay tuned. Loving it. Yes, sir.
And the money man, Scotty D.
What's up, bros? Two things I'm really proud of today. One is my undeniable, unbelievable good looks. And two,
here we go,
that I'm the only person that I know that picked Virginia, Auburn, Texas Tech, and Michigan State all to go to the Final Four. I'm really proud of that I was able to
Hold up.
Whoa.
No.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, guys.
You know what? I stopped looking at the brackets. I told y'all this last week. I don't want to talk about brackets. You telling me you picked all four of these teams?
Go back and listen on the air. I said it right here on this show.
That'd be episode 3 of the Sports Bros podcast, available on Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
God bless America.
Yeah, I picked them all. Yeah.
So he picked them all. Well,
I had Duke. I like
I was like, I'm not believing it for one second. I was about to hit up the research guru. I'm not having this today. My bracket is completely shot.
Oh yeah.
But I did have Michigan State in the final, so that's my caveat.
Yeah.
But Eddy Kool, take back over the show. Go ahead and introduce. Let's segue into this, because I don't want to talk about brackets anymore.
Well, speaking of brackets, basketball, busted hopes and dreams, and fiery ambitions, let's go to what them brackets look like section. B-Live's favorite section of portion of the show. So, of course, since Scotty was bragging last week and B-Live was so distraught, we're going to let Scotty D go first, and we're going to ask you the question, Scotty. What them brackets look like?
I got to be honest with you. I don't know. I quit looking at them myself. You know, I really thought North Carolina coming into this tournament had a lot of momentum, and maybe they peaked too soon because they went down in a heap the other night. But, you know, Auburn getting that hot, they're no joke, man. You know, they got really hot towards the end of the regular season as well, and they beat Tennessee 2 Saturdays in a row to close out the SEC and then in the SEC tournament. So that team is just they're the ones that are peaking at the right time. Unfortunately, their best players hurt. So, you know, after the wave of momentum and the emotion of when yesterday goes down, we'll have to see if they can carry that into winning 2 more games and getting Bruce Pearl that first national championship. But man, what a great weekend of college basketball. Every game was really exciting to watch. You know, on Saturday and Sunday. They were fantastic. And, yeah, I had Duke, and I no longer have Duke.
Oh, boy. All right, B-Live, since you don't want to talk about it, we're going to make you talk about it.
Well, I'm going to talk about it because you know what? Scotty, money man, you got the better of me. My bracket is absolutely shot. But I'm just going to call it out like I see it. Scott, your bracket had Duke, Purdue, Gonzaga, and North Carolina. You are officially 0 for 4 in the Final Four.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still have a slight chance because I still have Michigan State in there. Virginia, I gave absolutely no love. North Carolina was my all the way to the championship. I wouldn't have thought Texas Tech. If I'm not mistaken, if this computer pull up real quick on me, I think I had Florida State possibly. Let me
Yeah,
see.
that sounds right.
Yeah, I had Michigan State, I had Tennessee, I had North Carolina, and I have Florida State. So I am one of four, but
Yes, you
still,
are.
because of my poor choosing and picking,
Mm,
I
mm, mm.
I still cannot catch the money man Scotty D in points. So I will go ahead and concede to him in this Sports Bros bracket challenge. So Scotty D, congratulations, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
blah.
I got to be honest. I don't feel good about it. To go 0 for 4, going 0 for 4 doesn't feel too good. I kept thinking, well, at least I got Duke in my back pocket, and they're gonna win, and they did not. What a game that was, too, though. And they were all a lot of fun to watch this weekend, and I'm happy for the guys that made it. I like Bruce Pearl. I like Tom Izzo. I can't remember who Texas Tech's coach is,
Yeah, we got
but
nothing.
and Bennett
Nothing.
from Virginia. I mean, what a good story for Virginia. Last year they made history by being the first number 1 to lose to a 16, and they fueled that this year and turned it around. Even losing in the ACC tournament, that didn't stop them from getting what they needed to get done, and they are in the Final Four. So good story there for Virginia.
Yeah, they had to bother Virginia last year and going through the off season, and then having that as motivation coming to this upcoming season. And they took a negative and turned it into a very effective positive, and it earns them a trip to the Final Four. They are the last number 1 seed remaining. Let's see, as you said, let's see what the matchups. University of Virginia, and then we got number 5 Auburn, aka and B Live called it. If you didn't get your brackets right, B Live, you did get that one right with Auburn. All right, and then we have Texas Tech, whose head coach name we do not know, and then and then and then Sparty, Michigan State, the Spartans, led by Coach Tom Izzo. B Live just had an "I told you so" moment with Auburn. You did, yeah.
And the thing about it is, this is what's going to be even more intriguing right now because Auburn just put up, 97 points against North Carolina is a high-scoring team. So, I mean, their defense has never been their strong point. But Auburn just scored 97 points. I'm talking about they came out that second half, lights on. They could not miss. And now they're going against easily the best defensive team in the country. The old slow it down, ball control, use up every bit of the shot clock, Virginia. It's going to be the proverbial, rock in a hard place. Like, it's going to be like, which one is going to win? Everybody says that defense wins championships. I think that applies in football. Basketball, I don't know. I mean, Golden State, I'm just talking NBA, they are just offense. So, I mean, so I think basketball is a whole nother game. Does Auburn have what it takes to freaking keep the ball running and moving against a Virginia team? And just a side note, Virginia is shooting the ball a lot better than they did last year. Their offense has stepped up tremendously since last year. So that's one of the big differences. And those matchups and everything.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough for Auburn without their best player on the floor. That was Okiki.
Chuma.
Yeah. We'll see if they're able to get the energy and the emotion rising again because they completely had that momentum going this weekend. But boy, without him, Auburn might be a little bit shorthanded against that Virginia defense.
Yeah, it's going to be tough sledding for for Auburn and Bruce Pearl. I'm happy for Bruce Pearl because he's kind of had a bit of a checkered coaching career, and he'll sweat through 3 or 4 dress shirts during the game. Won't change them. You know what I'm saying? So I guess, hey, sweaty dress shirts and screaming to the top of your lungs, I guess it gets it done. So I'm happy for him. I'm also happy for Auburn as well too. And
for Chris Beard, the coach of Texas Tech.
Yeah, Chris Beard. Hey, Chris Beard. Yeah, happy for Chris Beard.
Sorry, Chris Beard.
Thank you, Google. All right.
Yeah. As my man Conrad Thompson would say, you throw that in your Google machine. Yeah, Google has saved a lot of lives and a lot of people for looking silly or whatever. But
shout out to Google.
Yeah, shout out to Google. Cut the check. So this weekend in college basketball was pretty good. I had a chance to watch a few games, and we were at work, and luckily for me, I was working in the bar section of the restaurant, so I was like, boom, front and center. This is perfect. I can look at the basketball game and hide from my manager at the same time, but still take care of my guests.
Right.
Exactly. But that's neither here nor there. Speaking of hiding and laying low, LeBron James shuts it down for the season. I guess he said, you know what? We ain't going to the playoffs. Scotty D's Lakers are horrible. I still got growing issues I have to handle. Matter of fact, I'm about to go film another episode of the shop. Just to let everyone know, I'm not crapping on LeBron James. It's just, it is what it is. And so we're going to let B Live have a minute about this whole LeBron James shutting it down and talking about this old GOAT thing. B Live.
Man, you are only giving me a minute. I get it, because I could talk about this all day long. I got a minute. I just
do 30 seconds left.
Do the time constraints.
I will say this much. You know what? It is essentially what it is. LeBron James is a freak of an athlete. 6'8", 270, 265, 270. I mean, comparing him to Michael Jordan was a bit slimmer. I want to say Jordan was 6'6", 215 at best, somewhere around there.
Was he even 200 pounds?
Maybe. I want to say he was at least 200. But I mean, it's one of those things. Slimmer build, so the heavier build on LeBron James, the workload, what was asked of him was a bit more. So him coming down with an injury, it was. I can't fault him for that. I can't fault him. Like, sometimes you could say his effort wasn't there, the killer instinct, that kind of stuff you talk about. But this year he was plagued with a couple of injuries. So I'm not going to bash him too bad. And then even on top of that, I was reading into the fact that Luke Walton had to convince LeBron to shut it down. LeBron didn't shut it down. It was to the point where now you got to really look at the fact you got 3 more years on the dude's contract. They not making the playoffs. What's the purpose? Let the man rest up, heal up fully, and come back next season. So that hurt. That actually hurt to give a compliment and be unbiased about the Lakers and LeBron. But I want to give the facts out there. LeBron still will never be the GOAT. Let me get back to reality. He will never be the GOAT. I'm sorry I said it, but I at least wanted to put out those facts about that story.
Scotty D, what you got?
Yeah, I guess it's time that LeBron shut it down, since it seems like the rest of the team did. I mean, they haven't really been competitive since LeBron got injured on Christmas Day. It went all downhill. I don't see any need for him to keep trying. I don't think he ever was 100% after he came back from the injury. So this is going to be one of the few times he's had an extended period of time to rest. So I'm hoping that, he plays 2 months worth of playoffs every year for the last 8 years straight in the finals. So I think the best thing for him to do is try to sit it out, recover, and come back with fresh legs start next year. And hopefully the Lakers will have a little bit of better idea of how to build around him going forward for the next couple of years.
Yeah, for a man that of LeBron James's size and stature, let's think about it. That's like you said, 8 consecutive years of going to, playing playoff basketball for 8 consecutive years. Also, him being 6'8", 250. Over time, that kind of, it kind of wears you down. Even though he really didn't. I don't think he shows any signs of slowing down. He may be that, that rare breed that could be playing till he's 40. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, look, you got 75-year-old Vince Carter right here. He's still playing. So yeah, it's not come to a surprise. So him being shut down, it's beneficial. Just like you guys touched on it. Hey, you're number one with a 4-year contract. Why risk it? And Michael Jordan's playing weight, according to Bing, these search engines, cut the doggone check. All right. It said in Michael Jordan's prime, he maintained a weight of 205 pounds. He started off a scrawny little thing at 195, playing against Bill Laimbeer and Boston and all them in Detroit. And the Eastern Conference when they were beating up people back then with rear naked chokes and rainmaker clotheslines. And the heaviest Michael Jordan got was 223 playing with the Washington Wizards /Bullets, and it showed. So
that was that old age right there. He's like, man.
I got one good crossover left. Speaking of crossovers, man, two of the best crossovers I've seen was CP3 and Lance Stevenson, but I'll save that for later. And if you view Tranquilo Thursday, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
That Lance Stevenson the other night. Ooh, that crossover was sick.
Lance will make them dance. Hey, Lance will make them dance.
He stepped on the man's foot. I don't know. But that, like I said, we could talk about that for days too. CP3's just nasty with it, man. It's just nasty with it. But moving forward, Eddy Kool, take back control of this show. I done told you I can talk all day.
I know, man. I guess I got to put a restricted cap on you, but it's all good, man. We just three bros talking about sports, man, like it says in the bio. Speaking of rules and taking over and leaderships and things of that nature, the new NFL pass interference rule. Now, B-Live, can you explain exactly what it is?
Well, NFL, this rule is actually implemented just for 1 year. It's sort of a trial phase, but I'll go into my opinion phase in a little bit, but essentially, it's going to be for calls and non-calls of pass interference. So, essentially, this is what I would like to call the New Orleans Saints overreaction rule, because this is essentially what it is that the game was on the line, pass interference happened, everybody saw it clear as day, and it's basically it's a challenge of judgment calls on the field, because at the end of the day, the referees are human, they don't see it all, and now they want to. The pass interference is a pretty significant situation, and so what it is if there is a non-call, the coach can throw out the challenge flag, and they'll go to the replay and see if the play constitutes pass interference. And the same thing, if it's a call on the field that it is pass interference, they can review and say that, it's not pass interference, it's incidental contact, the ball was tipped at the line, other rules that fall into play with that.
Okay, all right. I agree with you, B-Live. That is the New Orleans Saints pass interference rule. It's going to be interesting to see how this 1 year experiment turns out. Scotty, how you feel about this?
I am madly in hate with it. I think this is a terrible idea. This is, like you said, it's a knee-jerk reaction to what happened to the Saints. This is you're taking the subjectivity out of the official's call. You can have this on any call, pretty much on any play. This is like reviewing fouls on an NBA referee. This is like going to a monitor and saying, let's determine if that's a foul or not. Because this happens all the time. If I'm a coach, I'm throwing on every down now, because you get 1 out of 4 chances to get that call. You know what? This is actually already going on in the CFL. And I heard a caller on a talk show the other day say it has slowed the game down so badly that we're in for a disaster dealing with this rule. It's a lot of this goes back. I mean, it all goes back really to the missed call in the Saints game, and that was no doubt that was a terrible call. The guy should have made the call. It was obvious that he got interfered with, and that pretty much led to the Saints settling for a field goal and eventually not going to the Super Bowl. But on the next play, boys, they took the lead, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. The very next play, the Saints took the lead. They kicked the field goal and they're ahead. So you have to figure if they hold the Rams and win that game, this rule probably doesn't even happen. This is a complete knee-jerk reaction to the Saints.
Yeah, because the Saints were just up in arms about it, and understandably so. I mean, Nikhil Roby-Coleman just literally beheaded, Tommy Lee Lewis. He didn't turn around and play the ball. The referee, I don't know what he was going on. The conspiracy theory is that a few of those referees have ties to the Rams organizations and or live in L.A., but, when it comes
and I'm not buying that because the previous possession, a missed face mask took place that would have said that Jared Goff had a face mask. His face mask was pulled on the 2-yard line. That would have set the Rams up first and goal. I would have suspected they would have punched the ball in and taken a lead there rather than settling for a tying field goal. So missed calls happen in sports. As a Dallas Cowboy fan, I seem to remember a Des Bryant situation in Green Bay. But, I will say this. I never blamed the Cowboys losing that game on that play. I didn't like that call. But more than one play happens in the NFL. The Saints had the lead, fellas. They were winning the game still with 2 minutes to go. They still had the lead and couldn't maintain it. They had the ball in overtime. They couldn't win it. I hate the fact that we're changing this whole system, this whole pass interference replay system based on a blown call in the Saints game. I hate it. So, and in case I didn't mention it before, I hate it.
So I got two things to say. Of course, Eric Weddle and Richard Sherman, safeties and defensive backs, they took the Twitter about it. Eric Weddle said, dumb, dumb, dumb. Then Richard Sherman said, now they can't control the outcome as they see fit. Every defendable pass looks like pass interference in slow motion. I got another question. With this rule being implemented, which game will be faster? The game of baseball or the game of football?
Oh, and from my understanding, like it might be an overreaction on that side as far as like it's going to slow the game down. I think it's still going to be the same challenge rules that are already in place, that you only have 2 challenges throughout the game, and if you have 2 successful challenges, is that college where you get the third one if you have 2 successful ones, or is that also pro?
I think it's pro too.
All right,
but doesn't this rule also say in the last 2 minutes of the game or of each half? I think.
Yeah.
Then the review comes from upstairs, which is what I'm saying. If you're a coach in the last 2 minutes of the half, throw the ball. Just keep throwing it and throwing. I mean, you're going to do that most of the time anyway, but throw it and just hope to get pass interference.
Because it does happen, and that's one thing. Hopefully, that the replay officials in each game they're not quick trigger on the button and everything and let the guys play. But yet, once again, that you're putting that on someone else. Now, yet still another judgment call, because guess what? There's going to be incidental contact. There will be contact, and now you're going to be like, oh, now we got to wait on the booth review. And, are you going to review it? He touched his pinky toe. I'm going to need you to review it. And I don't know. This is so and
they're going to be arguing about it at every post-game press conference next year. It's going to be miserable.
Right. I mean, hell, as far as we know, he probably tripped over a blade of grass or a blade of some turf. I mean, some bumpy turf. But yeah, we got to review that. When he came out of his break, he was 4 feet in front of him, but he tripped, because he didn't tie his cleats or whatever. But I mean, too many rule changes is just let them play. And speaking of letting them play, a perfect segue into the next topic. Could it be one and done for the Alliance of American Football? Now, I don't know if you guys remember earlier this year, but they had to have a form of a bailout just so that the players could get paid, and it was only the second week of the season. And I recently read that the Alliance reportedly, allegedly, supposedly could fold as soon as this upcoming weekend. It's reported, it's alleged, it's not fact. So let's see, who am I going to pick to lead this off? Be Live, because me and you have had this conversation about it privately. Now it's time to have this thing publicly.
Well, here's the thing. Like, once again, you got to dive into some of these stories. the AAF is not in danger of folding at this point in time because of financial issues. The finance has been sort of taken care of by the bailout from Tom Dundon, who is also the majority owner of the Carolina Hurricanes hockey franchise. A bunch of jerks.
Baby.
Yes, sir. I got to plug that in, but here's what we're running into now. The AAF now is running kids to the fact that the NFL, the Players Association, is not too keen on players playing in the AAF because of injury issues, possibly jeopardizing their future in the NFL now by playing additional games, which I get is one of those things. It's a risk-reward situation. But the thing here's the fact of the matter, a couple things that are really, it's just the fact that the Players Association is not cooperating with the AAF. And now Tom Dundon, who has basically taken over the AAF, he's actually like combating with the AAF, and that's where the negotiations are starting to fall apart because Tom Dundon's not agreeing with the Players Association. He's basically saying, "Hey, I brought the money to this. Now I'm the head dog. I want it this way, et cetera, et cetera." And so there's been issues between Tom Dundon and Bill Polian. Bill Polian's the head of football AAF, but guess what? He's not the money man. He's not how they like to say, money talks and BS walks. I'm trying to keep it PG. You know what I'm trying to say. So there's issues with that. And the talks are breaking down. And Dundon's saying, "Hey, we're supposed to be a developmental league. Hey, we're supposed to be in cooperation. Now you're telling me, you're telling other players to steer away from the AAF because of injury issues." And the Players Association is always looking out for the best interests of the player. And we've already had some season-ending injuries in the AAF that are now already saying that they can't even play in the NFL this year because of what happened in the AAF. So I don't see, it's one of those things where folding possibility, because now without the NFL players that didn't quite make it, the ones that probably may end up getting cut down when they go to the 53-man roster, now it's simply put, like, why am I watching the AAF? It's not a developmental league anymore if you don't have those NFL players, and that's where the whole danger of folding situation is coming into play.
Scotty D, what you got, brother?
It's not the NFL's job to supply that league their players. That guy's deflecting a little bit. I think what's his name?
Tom
Dundon. Yeah.
Dundon, yeah.
I think he's kind of deflecting a little bit off of that too. The fact that their ratings suck and nobody's going. I mean, nobody wants to watch it. That's the thing. I could care less. If I watch the game tomorrow night, that'd be my first one. I don't even know when it's on. They have done zero marketing. I get Sports Illustrated. I haven't seen a mention of it in Sports Illustrated as far as an article or advertising. I don't know when it's on, and I don't know who's carrying it. And it's obvious that it's going to fold. And I think Vince McMahon ought to get out of the XFL too before he falls into that trap again.
It's something about a spring league, a secondary league. It just doesn't pan out. I mean, look what happened with the USFL, version 1 of the XFL. Now we have the Alliance, and now we have Vince McMahon giving this whole XFL thing one more try. But see, Vince McMahon this time around, he had some time to actually prepare and put some things together for this XFL, as opposed to the last XFL, where it was like, look, we got 3 months to do this, that, and third, secure a TV deal, get some merchandise, write storylines for a real sport, and do everything of that nature. I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like we're watching the the dying days of WCW all over again. I'm not even going to lie about that. And just a quick heads up to those of you that actually watch and care, the Orlando Apollos, coached by an old head ball coach, Steve Spurrier, the visor chucker extraordinaire, they are 7-1, and they lead the Eastern Conference, followed by the Birmingham Iron at 5-3, Trent Richardson's team. Shout out for him for actually finding the holes and running through them. And the Arizona Hotshots in the Western Conference are 5-3, along with the San Antonio Commanders. I would like spring football, but you guys know if your money ain't right, your product ain't gonna last long. And once that TV deal dies, ask WCW, ask ECW, ask any entity that had a per se hot product and couldn't find a TV deal, and it went from hot to smoldering to extinguished flames and everything. All right, moving along. Speaking of extinguished flames, Conor McGregor, try to say that 5 times fast. Conor McGregor retires from MMA. Scotty D, you're going to lead off on this one.
He's retired, and I'll probably watch him fight next year. That dude, you
Wow.
think that dude's gone? I think Conor McGregor is stepping away right now just to get out of the controversy of what's going on. He has the situation in Florida with the phone. He has this sexual assault charge in Ireland against him, and I think he's needing just to get out of the way. He doesn't need the money, and he's losing fights now. The shine has come off of him. He talked up a great game, but he's lost. The last real competitive fight he had was against Khabib Nurmagomedov, and that was in October. He lost that one. He lost when he fought Floyd Mayweather, which we knew was going to happen because that's boxing. And prior to that, he won 2 fights, the second which was against Nate Diaz, which was avenging a loss to Nate Diaz. I just don't think the guy's motivated anymore, that he's accomplished what he wants to. And for him to keep getting into the cage, he's going to start proving people right that are saying that he's not that good. I mean, he's good, don't get me wrong, but when you're not getting in the cage on a regular basis, the rest of the field is catching up and even better than you. So I think he's at this point kind of trying to leave a little bit of shine on his name by not competing. And I think he'll be back. He'll probably, what I think will happen is a year from now, in order to be relevant again, he'll probably fight Nate Diaz again because there's still some interest in a rubber match there. But, I mean, his days as being like the top guy in the UFC, I believe, are over. But I don't believe his fighting career is over.
B-Live, where you at on this topic?
I agree. It's just, I mean, really, if you really want to talk about it, Floyd Mayweather retired. If you want to talk about it, but again, money talks. There's so much one thing about I see with Conor McGregor, he's accomplished a great deal. He's accomplished a lot. He is the mouthpiece of MMA, UFC, and he's definitely a main event draw. At the same note, yeah, he has been losing fights, and he's got a lot of controversy going on. But I mean, if you follow him, and good job on pronouncing that dude's last name, Nurmagomedov.
Nurmagomedov.
Nurmagomedov. All right. Cool.
B-Live, put it back. You just broke it.
I mean, that was impressive. But it's
on the first try. First try.
Normally,
I watched the fight. I watched it.
Yeah, that was like, man, oh man, that was, yeah, I was impressed. But yeah, I'm looking at I've been trying to follow a little bit on the Twitter feeds and everything. That feud is still there. Khabib, he's suspended because of that brawl. I'm gonna use air quotes on that. A lot of UFC is a lot of hype. I do see some the undercards when those fights are phenomenal. But then there's so much hype behind some of these main event fights. It's almost WWE like at some points. And now with the Twitter, I'm looking at Twitter. There's them two are still going at each other about it. I'm pretty sure behind the scenes they're best friends in the world, but they know the money is behind them two, keeping the feud going on, letting it stew a little bit. Let's work on some of these legal issues. And then we come back a year from now, and when the world is screaming for, we want McGregor, then next thing you know, you're talking about $1 billion fight, which could easily happen. Let's just lay back. Let's be like the McRib at McDonald's, come for a limited time only, and everybody go freaking crazy about something that still looks like crap on a bun. It's delicious. It's delicious, but I'm telling you, that's exactly what's happening right now. Conor McGregor's not retiring. We'll see you next year. Am I going to spend a red cent to watch this fight? Absolutely not. Because I'm going to do some illegal stuff. Oh, did I say that live?
Oh, no.
God bless America. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to spend $5. I'm going to go to overtime and I'm going to,
no.
Another overtime reference.
You're going to make me sad all over again. You're going to make me sad all over again.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I miss those lemon pepper wings, the ambiance, the Chris Osgood jersey in the corner. Oh, man.
I had to do
the
it.
Marble Panther, the pool tables, Scott hosting karaoke on Friday night.
For those of you who don't know, overtime was a sports Eden, man. It was wonderful.
God Almighty. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna watch the fight because I do enjoy UFC. I don't believe this for 1 second. But do what you got to do, Conor McGregor. Man, we'll see you soon, I guess.
We'll see him next July.
Right.
I think with Conor McGregor, he realizes that he has a lot of, as they say in the wrestling business, heat. And he, I guess, is in his best interest that he should lay low, let his heat cool down. And I think it's a classic case of let them forget about you until the point where they want you to come back. And then you can have a fresh start. Yeah, they'll bring it up, but hey, we hadn't seen Conor in a while. He's been laying low, doing his thing, training, and let's go ahead and get this $1 million fight. So, yeah, I wouldn't, you know how it is, man, when it comes to retirement and everything. You know, Ronda Rousey, she went and did what she did with the WWE, and she's not really in the octagon no more. And I mean, time will tell. Time will tell. And just like you guys, you know as well as I do, man, you know, money makes you move really fast.
Let me ask a quick question, Scott. Scott, because you're more well versed in this. Because I mean, with John Bones Jones, like he is, I still think pound for pound one of the best fighters. But didn't he fail with like 2 or 3 drug tests at this point in time?
10.
I think 2.
You think 2? But
yeah,
he was right back. His knee was the light heavyweight champion again.
Yeah. But he served a 12-month suspension, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was gone for a hot minute. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's had a lot of time off, but I think the second suspension merited a 12-month suspension.
Right, and I mean, I asked that because I mean the fighting world is a lot more forgiving than the other major sports world. Like you don't get to fail 2 or 3 tests. Performance enhancing. Right now, Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens and Sammy Sosa and all of them still can't get into the Hall of Fame because people have not forgiven them in baseball. But we can forgive somebody in mixed martial arts.
Yeah,
that quickly.
I think the first suspension for Bones was a positive cocaine test, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct.
Correct. So I think it was 2 different things. I'm not sure how that all works out, but they're tested under a program called USADA, and actually I think in order to officially retire, you have to withdraw from USADA. You have to be part of them to be part of the testing to get legal fights, and until McGregor withdraws from USADA, I don't think he's actually even officially retired. So we'll have to see too if he goes through with that step. And I'm not 100% clear on that and how all that works. That's just kind of what my understanding is from watching UFC and hearing some of the talk around it. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that going forward.
And like I said, essentially, I bring up that point. It's just like, I mean, certain things like retiring, unretiring, whatever. The fighting world, the MMA world, they're forgiving. They're just big money ticket draws. And one of the things that's appealing to UFC, MMA to the general fan, not to your diehard Muay Thai experts and et cetera, et cetera. It's just two guys getting in the ring, beating the crap out of each other and choking them out. It's a combat sport, and it's the appeal of the 18 to 40-year-old male that just likes a good old-fashioned fight. So, I mean, Conor McGregor with his trash-talking self, that's the appeal, that's the draw. He makes a lot of money talking a lot of trash. So we'll see him back again. He's probably going to lose again, but, I mean, we'll see him next July, as you say.
Like I said, man, hey, money makes you move a little bit quicker than what you once were. Speaking of moving quicker, guys like the way we just flowing right through this show. And guess what? We're at our favorite portion of the show, the listener interaction section, where this past week we asked the question, who is your must-see athlete? You know, you see him on TV, you put your phone down, you put your pen down, you throw your laptop across the room. Well, you don't want to do that, but you get what I mean. You stop what you're doing and you focus on this amazing athlete. And as always, our listeners have been coming through in the clutch as of late. All right, and here's what we have here. Friend to the show, JR Speaks, says LeBron James or Carson Wentz are his must-see athletes, and understandably so.
Carson Wentz, what a surprise that he chose Carson Wentz.
Yeah, what a surprise.
Eagle fan.
He's an Eagle fan. I'm going to say it, though. Who in the world is stopping to watch Carson Wentz? He's decent at best, but there's like at least 10 quarterbacks that I would say stop and watch Aaron Rodgers, but I mean, that's just me. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Nick Foles.
Yeah, I mean, a better quarterback on his own team. But
you know what I was about to say? I was about to say, I would have went with Nick Foles.
Yeah.
Nick Foles is compelling must-see TV. Like, can he do it again? He's the underdog, and he's a Super Bowl MVP, and Philly special, and riding the big old cloud. But shout out to Nick Foles for going to Jacksonville and getting his money. I'm not mad at him, deservedly so, because there was no way Philly could keep him for another year. No.
Right.
All right, Anthony Wilson, he says LeBron James or Ezekiel Elliott. All right, those are his must-see athletes, and if I was him, I would say both, man, because I've had the luxury of having Ezekiel Elliott on my fantasy football team, and he is a wonder to watch. Even when he was balling out of control at Ohio State. He was good to watch.
You know what? I'm just going to be the professional hater. I'm not watching Zeke until he wears a full-on shirt. I need a full shirt. Not just these. I don't want to see no more your abs, sir. I said it. I'm hate. But go ahead. Keep it going.
Be live. I'll be sending you an umbrella and a yellow raincoat mail pretty soon. I'll be doing that very, very soon. You might be removing the little girl from the Morton Salt can. And through the creative wizardry of Photoshop, we might make that happen. Let's see. Scotty Lacura, he says right now he would love to see Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yes, got it on the first try.
Nice.
He would love to see Giannis play live. I've actually watched Giannis. I'm like, man, a guy with this size and this much ability doing what he does. No wonder they call him the Greek Freak.
Dude, Giannis is fun to watch. That's a great pick. That dude is freakish.
I'm still trying to figure out how he manages to cover that much ground with that Euro step is beyond me. That is amazing. So I'm definitely love to see him
Giannis is
play.
must see. I give it to him on that one.
It's easy to figure out how he covers with that Euro step. He's like 9 feet tall. I mean, how can you not cover all that space? 1, 2, there it is. A big old 1 and a big old 2. Not just a 6'1", 6'2". No. Guy's 9 feet tall. He's a freak. So yeah, I understand it. Yeah, Giannis is. I'm pretty sure he's good to see on TV, but live, I bet it's a spectacle within itself. My man Eli Kavanaugh said Steph Curry. We all know why. Come on, man. He does what he do. He just do what he do.
Yeah, to the point that I think we actually take it for granted, but he is very sweet to watch, no doubt about it.
Man,
Oh, go ahead, be live.
I was saying the shot is ridiculous with it. I'm just saying that it, like, people were imitating Steph Curry in their game growing up now. Like, absolutely. So I agree with that 100.
Think about some of the best sharpshooters that ever played. You know, Detlef Schrempf, Reggie Miller, Glenn Rice to an extent. Am I missing
Ray Allen?
Ray Allen. And then, you know, just to see all those, Dale Ellis, another one, OG throwback. And to see those guys, you know, specialize in shooting three-pointers, but, you know, Steph Curry has definitely taken it to, like, another level, which is, I'm going to say it, it's pretty damn untouchable. And it'll be the classic case of, once again, you know, we liked it when it first came out. We're kind of, you know, Warrior and Curry fatigue now, but when he's gone, we'll miss it.
Yep.
We'll miss it. That's always how it is. And Stephen Dellamore, he's going to go a different route. He would have to say Travis Pastrana.
And I will give him that this much. It's one of those things where, do I consider him like an athlete? Absolutely. Like it does take a lot to do what he does. And I mean, between all of his motorsport skills and everything, it is absolutely something to see, something to watch. Some of his clips, some of his videos, I mean, his performances and everything like that is amazing. And so the X Games wouldn't even be the X Games without Travis Pastrana, in my opinion. So I definitely agree with that.
Yep, that's Travis Pastrana. That is Travis Pastrana doing what he does. Yeah, man, the X Games is a pretty hot commodity.
Yeah, interesting take. I like that.
Yep, I like that. He went outside the box. The box.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys. Since we're asking everybody else who's their must-see athlete, who are you guys' must-see athletes?
Me first? You want me?
Yes.
To go?
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
Anybody.
I would go with. I have a tie between the defensive line for Clemson, Trevor Lawrence, and Deshaun Watson. Those are my must. Oh wait a minute, I'm sorry, I'm reading off a B Live sheet.
Wow.
That's wrong. That's the wrong list. I'm sorry. Shout out to Clemson. Shout out to Dabo. All roads lead back to Dabo.
Bring your own guts.
I'm actually wearing that Bring Your Own Guts shirt right now. I kid you not.
as much as a University of South Carolina, you know, fan I am, I have to say that the Bring Your Own Guts is like marketing gold. I swear it is.
Man.
I'm sure B Live might read that list here in a moment, but I kicked this one around a little bit because I love Robinson Cano. He's my favorite baseball player. I actually almost said Johnny Bones Jones because now that he's back in the octagon, he's somebody he's very compelling to me. I want to see what he's going to do next. But when it came down to it, for me, it's still Tiger Woods. I am still drawn in by Tiger more than any other athlete. And it just went to show again this weekend. He played all weekend long, and I'm watching all of his matches. He lost on Saturday night, and I did not know until 10 minutes ago who won the match play tournament this weekend. Kevin Kisner won it, but with all the other sports going on yesterday, I didn't see any golf. Had Tiger been in, I would have watched golf all day. Tiger Woods, to me, is still the most interesting, compelling, competitive athlete we have out there today. You can debate whether golf if they're athletes playing golf, whatever. He's in the world of sports. Tiger Woods is still my guy that I want to watch more than any other athlete.
I mean, look, you got to hit a ball, okay? You're doing it's a physical sport, so we can't discount golfers. I mean, I forgot the dude that the black guy,
Tiger Woods?
No, not him. The other black dude. He
Tony Finau.
No, the long drive guy who did the two claps and the Ric Flair thing and I'm drawing a blank. If you out there in Sports Bros land, listeners, know this guy's name, let me know. He's a black dude. He's a golfer. He hits the ball really well. He's not a golfer. He just hits the ball really, really hard.
He's a long drive. He plays in long drive contests.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes, I cannot I cannot think of his name to save my life, but you guys know what I'm talking about. So, yeah. Be Live, who you got?
I have a couple of players, and the fanboy in me know it's not Clemson right now, but I could. There'd be a lot of references, but all you gotta do is show orange in that paw, and I'm watching. That's always gonna be much watch for me. But there's a couple people I want to throw out there. One thing, the fanboy in me again. I'm a diehard Carolina Panthers football fan. I really enjoy watching any time that my man Run CMC Christian McCaffrey touches the ball. I get excited every time he touches the ball because I feel like it could be a breakaway at any given point of time. So like I get excited. Like I said, that could be just a fanboy in me. Could be. But one person, we've been talking a little bit about MMA, UFC. I gotta give a shout out to, some people may know him, some people may not know him, but Israel Adesanya.
The last style bender, baby.
Yes, sir. I've seen the past couple of his fights, and I mean, this dude is phenomenal. And
he is a beast.
Entertaining. Like he is the next big thing in UFC and MMA. I mean, anytime I hear he's going to be part of a match, part of a fight, part of a card, I'm like, I gotta see it. So this dude, the style bender, absolutely, he is my pick for must see TV.
Like, I don't really have a favorite, UFC fighter, but I'm with you, B-Live. I haven't seen like any of his full-fledged fights, which I need to start watching some more to be well versed on the sport of MMA. But I saw one video. He hit a dude with a punch and then like hit him, like took a small step and hit him with the point of his elbow. And I'm like, wait a minute, what just happened? I thought I blinked, but yeah, the last style, but yes, he's like scary quick. He's going to be one of those hard to defend guys, and this is, it is nuts. All right, it's time for my picks. Because I was thinking about it. I had one pick. I said, well, if I get one pick, I don't want to leave nobody out. Well, if I get two picks, I don't want to leave nobody out. So I got 1, 2, 3, and an honorable mention. The honorable mention is the quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, Pat Mahomes.
He's must see. That's good.
Good choice.
Like, he is my honorable mention. Like, he has came into the league and has made his mark. Alex Smith who? Alex Smith what? Don't know, don't matter. And I think his style of play is a glimpse into the future of what we can see in the NFL. I mean, I saw a preseason game last year where they played the Falcons. I think he threw like a deep ball. I think he threw like a bomb. I mean, kid's got a cannon. I mean, look at his dad. His dad was Pat Mahomes. He was an old relief pitcher, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah,
the athletic pedigree really shows in Pat Mahomes. He's cool. He's calm. He's collective. And
he's like the Steph Curry of the NFL.
Exactly. I mean, it's going to be to the point, the top athletes in America are going to be, Patrick Mahomes and Steph Curry. We still got to deal with Tom Brady, but that's a different story for a different day. But, yeah, Patrick Mahomes, he is my honorable mention. Number 3, shout out to my fans in Kentucky, the hefty lefty Jared Lorenzen.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, he listen, hold on. He is must-see TV. To me, this is my opinion. You can laugh all you want to. I don't care.
He must eat.
I'm talking about in his playing prime. Listen to me. A guy his size and his stature, he should have been playing O-line.
Yeah.
But the way you gotta think about it, he was Big Ben before Big Ben came around.
Oh, boy.
Throwing players off, completing passes, running. He could throw a little bit. I mean, he was just like, hey man, the hefty lefty, man. I mean, hey, I'm like, I saw this guy playing. I'm like, how in the hell is this dude, this big old number 22 jersey, looking like a blue airhead out here just doing what he does? I was just amazed by seeing him. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what in the world? Like, it's unbelievable. a quarterback of that size to do what he does. So, yeah, since you guys laughed me out of the building on that one, I got to
This next one better be Michael Jordan. If you go heavy lefty,
Right.
Jordan up.
Yeah, you guys laughed me out of the building, but it's okay. I'm good. I stand by my choice. All right. Number 2 is the Diesel, the Daddy, the Big Cactus, the Big Aristotle, whatever name you want to give him, Shaquille O'Neal. Once again,
I like it.
Another athlete of his size and stature to do what he did during the period of time that he played, was able to dominate and literally change the game. I think Shaq was the last true center.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last true center. I mean, Dwight Howard, you tried it, but
You tried.
yeah, you tried it, but nah, it wasn't nothing like, seeing Shaquille O'Neal doing what he did. I mean, couldn't really hit a free throw, but that's neither here nor there.
How dare you disrespect Timmy Duncan, the big fundamental? How dare you do that? Talking about Shaquille O'Neal was the last.
He called himself a power forward.
Yes.
You're right.
He called himself a power forward. Yeah, he's a power forward.
Right. But just want to throw in there real quick. Alluding to earlier, you were looking for the long drive contest guy. It's Maurice Allen.
Yes, that's it. Maurice Allen. That's
Maurice Allen, by the way. But yeah, go ahead, Eddie. Kool. Hand it back to you.
All right, so that's Shaq. And then number 1, we all are professional wrestling fans, and we all know that it is predetermined and it is scripted. But I have to give it up to Ricochet.
Yes.
I have to give it up to Ricochet. The first time I've ever heard about Ricochet was back in 2016, where him and another flip-flop high flyer by the name of Will Ospreay, they had a match in Japan during the Best of the Super Juniors tournament, and it made news all around Twitter, the Twitterverse, Facebook, and I've actually watched the match. Matter of fact, I'm going to share the link with you guys and let you see it. Like, from an athletic, acrobatic standpoint, the guy is good. Like,
He's amazing. He is amazing.
Seeing what he did, the one and only, that's not, that is every bit of the one and only, that is him. Then when WWE Fastlane came to Cleveland, I saw him live. I was on my phone doing something. As soon as I heard his music, I was like, oh, there goes the phone. Here goes Ricochet. Time to pay attention.
Right.
Yeah, so the things he can do as an athlete is just amazing. What's his finishing move? The 650 splash, and I'm like, just watching it in slow motion, just seeing him flip flop around the ring. It's like a real life superhero.
Yeah, I can concur with that, man. He's absolutely amazing. And I'm just waiting for WWE to screw up his storyline, so it's going to happen. I'm sorry, I said that. I told you I'm a professional hater. It happens. I might be speaking truth, but
you are speaking the truth. We we'll tackle wrestling one day. We'll get there. We'll get there. And those are my top 1, 2, 3. That third one y'all laughed out the building, but I don't care. And my honorable mention, Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, always been a fan of the big boy, hefty lefty, Jared Lorenzen. I hope he gets his life together, man, because he wasn't doing too good recently. But I really hope he really, turns it around and gets it together and just be a regular human being. All right, guys, it is time for a game of pepper. So I got my glove out. It's all oiled up. Got a nice, fresh baseball because it is opening week of the baseball season. And so I'm going to start first. Johnny Manziel was able to start for the Memphis Express of the Alliance. Had a couple plays, looked pretty nice. And then last week happened where he got knocked out of the game with a concussion to end the season. Happy trails to Johnny Manziel.
Christian Yelich of the Brewers has a home run in each of the first 4 games. At that pace, he'll hit 162 and be the MVP again. I think he does it.
That's a lot of home runs. B-Live, throwing it to the hot corner, B-Live. What you got?
The NHL. Man, oh man, say goodbye to all the traditionalists out there. maybe save the Calgary Flames, but hockey in the South is reigning supreme because the Tampa Bay Lightning, wow, are
Woo!
so far ahead of everybody. I hope, because right now my Carolina Hurricanes are in 8th place. They're fighting the Montreal Canadiens for the last playoff spot. And I need my Hurricanes to get in there because I need hockey in the South. Sorry to everybody in Canada, but that's how I feel.
Just to throw this in, the Tampa Bay Lightning are 59, 15, and 4. So just let that marinate. Let that marinate. All right, Scott, another one. Back to you.
Kofi Kingston, Becky Lynch, Brock Lesnar, all are going to be champions on Sunday at WrestleMania.
Ooh, hot take. All right, I guess you're going to throw the ball back to me. And I want to say, Lance Stevenson and CP3, thank you for your contributions to Tranquilo Thursdays. Really, one of the reasons it took me to put that video together forever, because just watching those crossovers and the reactions, like it's crazy. And so what, Lance Stevenson stepped on his shoe. He was too close, and that's what he got. And then of course, Lance had him dancing. And that CP3 crossover, the dude just left my television screen. I'm like, where'd he go? There was somebody defending him. And of course, it's even better when you make the jump shot or drive to the hole, and that's what makes it more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and shout out to the benches for jumping up and down too. Behind the back pass to you, B-Lab. I'm throwing another one to you.
Yes, sir. R.I.P. Rest in peace to the one and done situation in NCAA basketball, because the NBA is already talking about it. The rule is going to change. And after this year in the big dance, watching Duke and Kentucky lose yesterday, the one and done situation does not work in college basketball. Let it go. Players need to stay and develop their talent. Let the ones that have no intention of wanting to go to school, let them just go ahead and go overseas and go directly to the pros. The college basketball program will not suffer, not one bit, because college sports is just pure. So the heck with John Calipari. Coach K, you're a great coach. I don't understand why we went down this track, but it didn't work. Peace out. RIP one and done programs.
Cool. I'll debate you on that one on a future program.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
There's a setup to another angle.
Yeah. And my last point today is Aaron Henry was getting yelled at on national TV by Tom Izzo a couple weeks ago. How you think he's feeling now, boys? He's in the Final Four.
He should feel great. Okay. Yep. He should feel great. Just like Tom Izzo said, hey, this time of the year, know my bads. All right. My last point is the March Madness Final Four excitement. It seems like just yesterday, the tournament just started, and here we are at the Final Four with Michigan State, Texas Tech, University of Virginia, and the Auburn Tigers. I'm excited, fellas. Very, very excited about it. All right, B-Live, another behind the back. Oh, pass to you. Oh, got a bad shoulder, but here you go.
All right, still sticking with basketball. I want to shout out to the Denver Nuggets, because you know what? They are tied with the Golden State Warriors in the Western Conference. Granted, everybody's already passed the ship on to Golden State, and everybody says, oh, they're not even playing during the regular season because they're going to turn up in the playoffs. Do not sleep on the Denver Nuggets. I'm rooting for them. I don't want to hate on Golden State, but I really think it'd be good for the sport of basketball for one of these other teams, and even Western Conference, to do some damage against Golden State. I think it could happen. So we'll see.
Yeah, just like Scott mentioned, a few weeks ago about, Patriot fatigue and Warrior fatigue. And, sometimes you just get a little tired seeing the same teams win. But, hey, you know what you got to do? You got to beat them in order to get something new started.
And Robert Kraft, you are not off the hook with me. I don't care. I'm mentioning you every single week, just for the record. All right, cool.
Not done with your son. All right, fellas, guess what? So I had a chance to browse the interwebs and see how we were doing performance-wise on different platforms. And what did I find? We got our first review on Apple iTunes podcast. And it comes from Livingston, LA. He says the show is entertaining and very informative, and it gives a different perspective of sports through our eyes. So we appreciate that, Livingston, LA, for the review. Like I said, you go there to Apple iTunes podcast, rate, review, subscribe, leave 5 stars. It really helps us out. They have some kind of funky algorithms and everything. And think about it, the more reviews you get, then the more you'll be able to see the Sports Bros pop up. When you see, the more they'll be able to pop up when you type in the name, The Sports Bros. Make sure you type in The Sports Bros. And Sports Bros is all one word. Also want to give a shout out to Nick Ferguson. He listened to the show as well, too. And also, we got 2 5-star recommendations from Bruce Wilkinson and also Brian Davis. As we said, we want to make this show fan-friendly. It is for the fans, by the fans. And we greatly appreciate you guys listening, giving us feedback. And guess what? Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Don't stop. And also a big shout out to my man Phil Smith up here in Cleveland, Ohio. He does a real funny Charles Barkley impersonation. And also I told him about the podcast. And even though the restaurant was busy, he was still trying to listen to the podcast. Was I going to stop him? No. Am I working on the podcast? Yes. So, hey, you got to do what you got to do to get your listeners and get your reviews and everything. All right, fellas, that's another action-packed edition of the Sports Bros podcast. Be live. Where can people find you?
Well, you can find me, the almighty Be Live. I do a lot of my work on Facebook. Just search me, Brian Livingston. Or you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter. This be your boy, Be Live. Take out the I, so THSBEYABOY, Be Live, LIVE. You can catch me on those. I'm going to try to expand my horizon with those platforms as well. You can catch me every Wednesday on Facebook and YouTube with What Happened Wednesdays. I'm coming with something fresh and new. I'm telling you, I'm already laughing internally thinking about it, and it's only Monday, so I'm coming with it nice and fresh this coming Wednesday. So check me out, man. Love you guys. Sports Bros, yes sir.
Hijinks and shenanigans. What happened Wednesday? Especially this last one. I was on the floor. Scotty D, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Wild Wing Cafe in North Myrtle Beach on Wednesday night doing live trivia, and I might bring some of that live trivia with me to one of these shows one day. We might kick around some sports trivia questions for the bros here. And I'm on Facebook, Scott Donnelly, Donnelly, Shark Dentist and Sports Bro.
What did you say last week? You was like, I don't have an Instagram because I'm too old for Instagram.
I'm too old for Instagram.
I was like, you know what, Scott? That should be your Instagram handle. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It just sounds good. I'm like, hey, that don't sound too bad. So, yeah, that's funny. Also, you can reach me, the head of creative, Eddy Kool, at Twitter, which I still got to get my raggedy behind on. You can find me at The Real Eddy Kool. Also, Instagram, Kool Season. That's Kool with a K. Kool Season, all one word, no spaces, no abbreviations. Also, you can find me on Snapchat, Supercool5000. That's Supercool in the number 5,000. And also, you can catch us on the Sports Bros Facebook like page where you can interact with us on a daily basis. And you know what? If you talk to us, guess what? 9 times out of 10, we're going to talk back to you too. We just might. There's always something going on. And of course, Thursdays, Tranquilo Thursday. Shout out to the Tranquilo Army out there. I think I really outdid myself last week, which means I got to figure out how to follow that up. I got to follow my own self up. What kind of mess is that? It's bad enough I got to follow Be Live up on What Happened Wednesday. Now I got to follow myself up on Tranquilo Thursdays. Also, fellas, what we got going on? WrestleMania coming up soon. Masters not too far away, and the playoffs for NBA and the NHL playoffs as well too. All right, guys, any final words before we get up out of here?
Just to let everybody know, the next podcast will be a recap of WrestleMania because all three of us are wrestling fans. So there will be a little bit and piece about wrestling. Sorry for all these sports enthusiasts that think that wrestling is not a true sport since it's predetermined, but just letting you know that's what's going to happen. Come back 2 weeks from now if you don't want to listen to us. I'm playing, man. Please listen, like, comment, share. We love you guys.
April Fools. Got anything, Scotty?
Let's go Penguins.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
boy. Here we go. Here we go.
And
Here
then-
we go.
they still in there. I mean, they. Let me see what. Let me
Sidney
look
Crosby,
at this.
there's always a chance at a cup, I'm telling you. Keep
Sid
an eye
the
on the
kid.
Penguins.
Sid the kid. You know what? I wish if Evgeny Malkin didn't get hurt as much as he did, because he could be. He's already special, but if he could not get hurt every other game, he would be super special. And that's not a knock on him, man. Hockey's a rough sport,
Yeah.
and it is what it is. All right, with that being said, for the Almighty Be Live,
Yes, sir.
the Money Man Scotty D, I'm Eddy Kool, and in parting, we want to tell you, do something nice for yourself. Not only that, but also, if you can, do something nice for somebody else. We are the Sports Bros Podcast, and as always, thanks for listening.